In this video, I'll share with you the top life pro tips posted on Reddit as voted for by the people. Hopefully you'll learn something new from this video and come out smarter at the other end. All credit goes to the individual Redditors who posted the tips. There are literally thousands of tips on Reddit, but here are the highest voted ones of all time. Keep your mouth shut and don't volunteer information. I had a phone interview scheduled this morning, but accidentally slept through it. When I got up and saw that I missed it, I had the desperate urge to call and offer up excuses, in the hope that maybe, just maybe, they'd be understanding and give me another chance. Instead, all I did was apologise and ask if we could reschedule. That's it. One sentence. No additional information. No explanation or excuse as to why I missed the first interview. They replied within 20 minutes, apologising to me, saying it was probably their fault, that they'd been having trouble with their computer system for days, and of course I could reschedule. Was I available that afternoon? Don't ever volunteer information, kids. You never know what information the other party has, and you can always give information if asked for it later. What the shizzle, 107,000 upvotes and top post of all time on LifeProTips, all because I overslept. If you want a smarter kid, teach your child to read as early as possible and instill in them a love for books. Because as soon as they can read, they can teach themselves, and that will be a lifelong advantage over their peers who don't have that same ability. If a friend or a family member gets diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, in the early stages try to find out what their favourite songs of all time are. In this way, you would be able to create a playlist for them that could be of great benefit in the later stages of the disease. Music helps dementia patients recall memories and emotions, especially when specific songs are connected to previous parts of their lives. If you like one song by an artist but don't dig the rest of their stuff, find out who the producer is and see what other work they've done. The producer can play a big role in how the final song turns out. Woo, front page, all from a stoner moment while listening to Black Keys, Weight of Love. Love you all. Obviously, this isn't meant to be a blanket statement or a diss towards Black Keys, just a way to maybe find some new music. Also look into the songwriters or anybody else that was involved with that specific track. Pay attention to the smell of your home when you come back from a trip. That's what it smells like to guests all the time. You just get used to it. Whoa, front page. All because I stumbled back in my house, half asleep and jet lagged from Vegas, and noticed my house really smells like my dog. I have so many people to thank and so many dogs to thank, like mine, for example. If you ever forget your Wi-Fi password or you want to get your school Wi-Fi password, etc., just type this command into the command line of a computer already connected to that Wi-Fi. NETSH WLAN show profile Wi-Fi name key equals clear. When you're at a hotel that charges for Wi-Fi or for faster Wi-Fi, get the password from the business center computer, which is probably connected to the employee Wi-Fi. Other than this, if someone on the internet tells you to type a command into your computer, never do it. In this case, 97,000 people upvoted it, so it must be useful. Gym closed and won't respond to your emails asking to suspend your gym membership. Call the bank and order a 1-year stop payment to them. Most banks are currently waiving the fee for this. Also, F Anytime Fitness. F the way gyms handle closing your account generally. I typically lie and just tell them I'm moving or that I worked in the area and I'm changing jobs. But the fact that I feel I need to lie just to get them to drop it isn't good. For those of you going to college for the first time this month, go to class. No matter how hungover, tired or busy you may be, being present is the most important factor in succeeding in your first year as you adjust to living independently. Missing class is a slippery slope to failing out. Sleep more than you study more than you party as much as possible. Words I found on Reddit that I wish I followed. X% of Y is equal to Y% of X. So, if you want to find out what 7% of 50 is, you could instead find out what 50% of 7 is, which is 3.5. This means that 7% of 50 is also equal to 3.5. More examples. If you want to find out what 2% of 20 is, do 20% of 2 instead and you'll get 0.4. So 2% of 20 also equals 0.4. Or 12% of 25 can be alternatively written as 25% of 12 instead, which would be 3. Explanation: 0.07 times 50 will always equal 50 times 0.07. I hope you found this interesting and or helpful. Thank you for the gold. You can also solve percentage problems by multiplying the two numbers, 7 times 50, which equals 350, and then taking the product and dividing it by 100, so the answer would be 3.5. Thank you to everyone who pointed out this alternative method. If you are asked to create an account in order to continue browsing a website, hit F12 and click on the dim area. This would select it and you can delete it with the delete key. Hit F12 again and resume your browsing. This only affects the display on your browser, but it's a simple way to bypass the infuriating create an account or GTFO situation on crappy websites when you just need quick info. There is some amazing tips in the comment section. It's not easy to edit them in on mobile. I'll mention the best ones once I'm home. Here are some other tips from the comment section that are, in my opinion, even better than mine. In Chrome, press Ctrl-Shift-C to instantly select elements. I prefer to right click and say F it, glorious extension here. Easier is to right click the offending bit, inspect element, hit delete, then escape. Command-Shift-C for Mac users. Behind the overlay Chrome extension, very useful. If you're trying to explain net neutrality to someone who doesn't understand, compare it to the possibility of the phone company charging you more for calling certain family members or businesses. Keep inviting that friend who always says no. If you have a friend or co-worker who you have invited to do things with you or your group of friends and they continually decline, don't stop inviting them unless they specifically tell you not to invite them anymore. Some folks really like to be included but really do have other obligations. Or maybe they're just super shy and need to be invited several times before they feel like they can work up the courage to go. Or perhaps they are battling depression. Don't give up on that person. You may just be the person they need to get them out of their shell or to eventually become the kind of friend that helps them see the good in life and want to continue going on living. Be awesome. I have a mum friend who became my friend because she just always kept inviting me even though I often said no. Now that we are friends, I see her do this all the time to other mums. She'll go up to mums at the park or pool or wherever we are at, and if they are by themselves, she'll invite them into our group or to the next playdate. I jokingly call her No Mum Left Behind. Motherhood can be lonely, especially if you're more of an introvert. I just adore that my friend was so persistent and makes so much effort to include people. Where do all these mums find each other? I guess this is how adults make friends outside of school hobbies. All credit goes to the individual Redditors who posted the tips. I'm just sharing the information on a different platform. If you have any life pro tips you want to share, feel free to put them in the comments. And if you found this video useful, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.